So I got a question after a recent lesson about fingerstyle blues and the swing scale. Someone asked me, well, can you do that in open tuning? And sure, yes you can. You just need to find how the notes sit in open tuning, and then you're off and running. So for this lesson I'm in open D, which is D, A, D, F sharp, A, D. And there's another lesson where I talk about how to build the swing scale. So you can check that out for like an explanation of it. But basically what you end up with is these notes: root, 2, flat 3, 3, 4, flat 5, 5, 6, flat 7, and root. And once you have that scale, you can keep going. This would be the second, or in this case, you probably refer to it as the ninth, and then the third, and the fourth, and so on, going up. Or you could go down root, flat 7, 6, 5, keep going down. And one of the things that makes it sound the way it does when you actually use it is adding in chromatic notes. And chromatic notes are notes that are a half step in between any two scale notes that are a whole step apart. So if you've got the root and the flat 7, you can fill that in with a chromatic half step, or from the 6th to the 5th, or even from the 9th to the root, or from the 3rd to the 2nd, and again from the 2nd down to the root. So what it means is that you can have these basic blues licks going on, and then you can add in some of these slinkier, jazzier sounding licks for contrast. So So it just lets you have more going on than if you were just playing blues licks. Just contrast, basically, because you might want to just play blues licks the whole time because they sound great. But if you wanted to set them up with something that played off of them, then the swing scale is a good option. It'll even work if you're doing slide, because slide licks sound even more in that blues world. So so on. So just as a mnemonic device, here's one lick that lives in that swing scale world and set on the guitar in the open D tuning, just as a thing to practice and play through to kind of get some of those sounds in your head. So okay, so we're going from swing scale to ending on a blues lick. So on the 9th, chromatically down to the root, chromatically down to the 7th, back to the root, 6, chromatically down to 5, flat 5, 4, 5, flat 7, 5, root, root, and over the thumb, so there's just one example of that, and you can try alternating that with your blues licks, alternating with slide licks. that'll give you something to work on to kind of practice going back and forth between just improvising blues licks and then trying to nail that one particular swing lick. And then you can start mixing it up and coming up with your own swing licks and mixing those in with blues licks. And then you'll have them both those sounds going on in open D tuning. So that's it for this lesson. Hope you enjoy working on that. If you've got any questions or comments, please leave them down below. I'd love to hear from you, and I'll see you next time.